Good evening. Uh, it's Thursday. I think it's the 4th of February, and this is a continuation of the progress that I'm achieving on the new project, the big project, certainly the big project for the TAG equipment, and it's the lime hand shaper, and what you can see from the camera there is half a chunk of cast iron. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that I bought a 4-inch diameter chunk of cast iron with a 1-inch bore cord down the middle, and it was just over 12 inches long, and the idea was that I was going to, well, actually, I guess first of all I should say that I found it very difficult to acquire any decent form of cast iron, good cast iron, for this project, and certainly if I'd have bought it from the US it would have cost me an exorbitant amount of money. The shipping would probably be more than the cost of the material, and then of course on top of that you got the currency difference. I just sent off, I just donated, what was it, $7 today to an organisation, a animal organisation, and that $7 US was just under $10 Canadian. So something like this would probably cost me about $120 just to ship it. That's without purchasing, and if it cost me $90 US, you've got the currency exchange on top of that, so that $90 would probably be about 130, I guess, plus the 120, so you're looking at a big chunk of money. I searched and searched on the internet up here in Canada, and I don't know, maybe they're hiding it or what, but it's so difficult to even find any on the internet. So that's the story so far. On top of that, I found this down in Calgary from a small family foundry that do castings for railway wheels and railway equipment, and they had a box of these chunks of cast iron in these lengths outside in the yard, and so I picked this one. If you look there and look there, maybe I'll turn it so you can see the outside appearance is really bad. It's certainly not like something that you would get from a metal supply, people like I don't know, metal supermarket, and it looks as though it's got some kind of a skin on the outside. It's been very, very difficult. I bought a brand new blade for my Chinese saw, and where are we? I got from there to there, which is about 4.5, maybe 5 inches, and the blade was shot. No idea what quality of cast iron this is, but I'm sure it's not like meionite, or there's another cast iron, A1 is it, that you can get from the metal stores. That's really nice stuff to machine. Obviously it's a different process. This is just a sand casting, I would imagine. Anyway, after I buggered up the blade, I then searched in the local area here and managed to find a guy, he's got a machine shop not far away, and he agreed to see if he could finish the cut. Now he's got a big bandsaw, cut-off saw, and the blade was 1 inch wide, and I think the teeth were 3 and 8 or 3 and 7, so it's a pretty coarse blade as well. And he started to cut it and buggered up his blade, so eventually this shiny stuff here is what he used. He used an angle grinder by hand with a cut-off like elastic grinding wheel, a cut-off wheel, and that's how he eventually got it split in half. So that's the situation so far. Now I have to try and get this surface. I've already got the other half set up on the mill, and I've started milling this top surface, this flat surface, so that I've got a datum to work to. So that's what I'm doing now. Thought I'd just do a little short video. It'll probably wind up half an hour, maybe, I don't know. And I've got it set up there, and I've started machining. Now I'm using a fly cutter that I made, and it's just a small one, and I'll move it round so that you can see what I'm actually doing. And there we are. I hope that not too, if that's, I hope you can get a good view of that. Yeah, so I've got a, I don't have any carbide tools. Over the years of working in different places, not many mind you, but a few different places, and I scrounged, where are we? Get one out. I scrounged little things like this. I don't know if you can see that. Hope you can. It's just a 1/4 inch shank, and I would imagine they used it in the auto machines, bar feed auto machines where I worked. It's just a quarter shank, and there's a little insert, a carbide insert in there, just at that point there. So, not having any carbide end mills, this unit will only take, on the collet system, it will only take a 3/8 anyway. So I thought, well, I've got these, but the fly cutter takes a square shank. So what I did was I just ground 2 faces square at 90 degree, and until I got measurement of 3/16 across the corners, and that's what I'm using in here. It seems to be working okay. I might invest in I probably will invest in a few carbide end mills. See, these are some of the things that don't know if I can get this off. Probably can't. See if I can. Yeah, they used to make up special D-bits. See if I can find one here. Yeah, they used to make up these special D-bits drills. That was made at the company, and it was for thermostatic controls, and it would be possibly an aluminium block, and these holes would be placed in the aluminium block in certain places for the assembly of these thermostatic controls. Ranco Controls actually was the name of the company. Pretty big company, American company. And so they made up these. There's a little tiny one. I can't get I'm not going to take the protection stuff off, but there's a little tiny one. Oh, probably the tip is about 1/16 of an inch diameter, and then there's another size further up, just like that, but just smaller. So, you know, over the years, as you work in different places and tool rooms, you accumulate stuff, and this is some of the stuff that I accumulated. So I kind of make do with what I've got if I can, and if I can't, then I have to go out and buy. So I might buy some carbide. The cast, once you get under the skin, it seems to work okay, but of course with a fly cutter you can't take a deep cut anyway, and I figure that seeing as this is a hobby and there's no demand for speed, it